Hi there! I'm going to quickly run through how to fit a stretchy and then troubleshoot how to help if baby has any floppy heads. So here we go. We're going to start off with our stretchy and our middle marker. They'll all have a middle marker, and if they don't, just fold it in half lengthwise and either do a little suck so it's a bit wet, or use a pen if you want to leave a little permanent one. Just where the middle marker is so that you know where to begin. And then you're just going to pop that onto your chest, and from there you're going to get a hold of the top rail so that it's nice and straight there, and you're going to bring that under your arm and around to your back, and you're going to get that same place and then pull that up over your shoulder. So it looks like this. Like that. And with this bit, we can keep that on closest to us. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So you're going to bring it under your armpit, to your back, grab onto that top rail again, and pull it up and over your shoulder. So it will look like this on your back. And then on your front, you've got this one on the inside. We're just going to pop this one through the inside too. Pop. So right now you currently have a H, two straps going down and one across the middle. We're going to make it look a bit more like an asterisk or a star. We're going to cross those over like that. So we've got an X underneath and then this bit going across. And with these, we're going to take them around to our back and we're going to tie them into a knot. And then tighten, and then once you've done that, you're going to do another knot and tighten. Now the great thing about stretchies, the best quality about stretchies, is that they are stretchy. So we should have them nice and tight against us. We don't want them too loose because we want baby to be up against us. But we don't want it too tight that baby can't fit in there. So you just want to make sure when you're pulling away, there's room for baby to go in, but that it is sitting close to you. Okay? So from here, I'm spreading these out because I just want to show you. This is the top one because it's on the top. And this one is the one that's closest to you. This is the one that we're going to be starting with first. So I'm just going to move this one out of the way. This is the one that we're going to pick up baby and put baby into first. So when we pick up our baby, we're going to pick them up onto this side so that we can slide them down into this one. Okay? I'm going to go get my baby. I'm going to start off with a small baby, and when we're doing troubleshooting, I'll move on to a bigger one just because it'll be easier. So to start off, I'm just going to move baby's head this way. There we go. I've put them up onto this shoulder, and they're going to move down into this one. So I'm going to pop this hand in and rub that against me. This is the bit where I like to say to all newborn mothers, just give yourself a little rub and some self-love and tell yourself how good you're doing, because you're doing amazing. We're going to bring this hand that's closest to us around to baby's bum. We're going to hold on to that bum, guide them into that pouch there, and we're just going to pull this to their knee. Other babies will be more curled up. My baby is very much a starfish baby because he's not real. Just before I get people in the comments saying that's not a real baby, which I get a lot of, it's quite funny. So I've got this going into the back of my baby's imaginary knees, into the back of my baby's imaginary knees. Let's turn you this way. I should have maybe turned you that way the first time. And I've got one hand on baby's bum. I'm going to do the same self-love thing again for me. You're doing really good with this fake baby with no knees, Kimmy. I'm going to pull that into the back of their knee. And I'm going to pull this across to the other knee. And what I'm going to do with this fabric is I'm going to make sure it goes up to baby's shoulders on both sides as well as both knees. That will hopefully help them stay nice and supported. The other thing we can do here, instead of having it like this because we can't see baby's airways, we can flip the shoulder at this point. So if I go back to where we were, this is into the back of baby's knees, we're going to get the edge that is furthest away from your neck, and that's the edge that we're going to bring up the side of baby. So we're just going to go like this. So this is in the back of baby's knee, and this is going up to their shoulder, like so. And do the same on this one. Grab this shoulder, the one that's furthest away from your neck, and if you bring your hands down, you can keep this bit in the back of their knees, and you can bring this bit up. And by doing this, you're creating a shoulder flip, which will save you having to do it later on. And you can keep baby's airway visible. So, at this bit, we want to make sure that baby's bum is nice and low and their knees are nice and high. My baby, it's quite hard to do on. This will be much easier with my bigger baby. But you want to make sure that their bum is lower than their knees. You want them like that. It'll be much easier to achieve with your real baby, I promise. So that's what we want to do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this a little bit different to how I've done it there, just to show you the other way of doing this shoulder flip. You can pull this shoulder here from your neck, and you're pulling it down like that. Okay, so that shows you the two different types of shoulder flips that you can have. This one, the flip is going that way, and this one, the flip is going that way. And to be technical, they've got two different names. This one's an open one, and this one's a closed one. This one's quite nice for making sure baby still gets a lot of airway, because if baby's facing this way, they're still in there. Even if I was to do a little bit of, oh, that's not good, baby, is it? So, those are the two different types. So that's the two different types of flip shoulders. Obviously, this one here is a bit preferable for baby to be facing. Okay, and then this way, as we were saying about the floppy head, this will hopefully help keep baby's head from flopping too far back. The other thing we can do is when we pull up this middle bit, you want to go, I always say, if you're having trouble finding which is your middle bit, if you can't see your middle marker, feeling for your middle marker or seeing your middle marker, you'll be able to pull up that bit. If you can't see that, or if you can't find it, go from your armpit down with your thumb, and the very first bit you find, gather that up into your hand. That will be your middle pass, and you can pull that over baby's leg, and then pull that over baby's leg, and then you can pull that up over baby, up to their neck, just below their head. Look, there we go. Keep babies nice and visible. So if you are still feeling unsure about if they have being too floppy here, you can get a muslin and you can roll that up in there. I haven't got a muslin, so I'm just going to go find something that I can use instead. So I've got one of my daughter's vests. I'm just going to roll that up, and then I'm going to roll that, just pull a bit of fabric, and I'm going to roll that into there. And I'm going to make sure that when I do this, we're not pushing baby and forcing them against me. It's just to stop any flop that they might have. And there we go. The fabric is into the knee pits of my baby. If they were a real baby, their bum would be nice and low below their knees. And just something for all us plus size ladies or anyone who's worried, we don't want baby's legs to be spread around us. Baby needs to be in their, we need to be respecting baby's position. We keep the baby in their position. We don't need them wrapping around us. They're in a nice little shape on us. We don't need to force their legs either side of us. They can go there. Okay, I'm going to make sure baby's face is visible, that they have a fresh flow of air to them. Smooth supported back. You want to make sure that they're not in any squishy bits. These are my firm bits. For men, there's usually much more firm bits the whole way down. For us women, we've got some squishies down here. So we want to make sure we keep up their faces out of our squishy bits. So that's it. That's the ways that you can do it. And on the back, it's gathered a bit there. So I can pull that out. If we spread those passes, that will help it to stay more comfortable and spread that weight. And that's it. We're nice and hands-free. Okay. If baby is flopping too much, it's usually a case of we just need to get that nice pelvic tuck there. Or we can do this, or we can do this. Or it could be that the sling needs tightening. So I'm going to show you how I would tighten. I'm going to take this down. So if you've got a stretchy, I'm just going to pull loads of slack forward to show you. This isn't what you should be doing. I want to try and show you a really loose fitting stretchy. So I'm going to bring lots of slack in. Now, if your stretchy is looking a bit more like this, where there's lots and lots of loose fabric, and baby is slumping, baby is close to my squishables, we don't want baby down there. If you haven't got squishables, this isn't a problem, but this is a problem for us mummies, or any parent that has squishables, sorry. Any parent that has squishables here, we don't want baby being lost in there, because that will prevent them from being able to get air. And we won't be able to make sure that their chin is staying off their chest. And when they're so little, that is a very big risk because they haven't got all their neck muscles yet. So what if your stretchy is too loose? I've pulled this and made it looser to try and show you what I frequently see when people are tying on their stretchies. We frequently see this loose fabric that's got lots and lots of room. What can we do? If baby's already in and you want to keep baby in, maybe they've already fallen asleep on you and you want to retighten, I would recommend putting one hand on baby's bum inside of the fabric, and you're going to pull all of this excess fabric from your shoulder and down. We're going to pull all of this excess fabric to the back where your knot is, and then you can pull your knot. Can you see that I've tried to pull that all the way there? We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to put our hand in onto baby's bum. Now I'm going to get all this fabric from my shoulder and I'm going to pull it down, and I'm going to pull that to my knot. Can you see how much extra fabric I pulled away? And if my baby wasn't such a starfish, that would be up like this, and their knees would be up like this. So I'm going to keep them up there like that. And I've got all this extra fabric back here. We're going to retie that in a second. For now, if you can, someone else can tighten it. If you're very dexterous, you can tie another knot in it. Or you can tuck it between your legs to keep the tension. Until we've retied that knot so that it's nice and tight, you cannot let go of baby. Okay? From here, now that it's nice and tightened, we can go back to putting this back over baby. So this one is the one that's closest to baby, so we're going to go this side first and pull that over, making sure it goes from the shoulder to the knee, and this one the same. We're going to pull that across, so it goes to the knee, to the shoulder, like that. We're going to flip this shoulder so that baby has their face visible. Their hands will usually be up by their face. As they get older, they won't do that. We're going to go to the armpit and come down. That first bit that we find is this middle marker. We want to pull that over their first leg, over their second. Notice how I'm not moving baby's feet there. This is a stretchy wrap. We can pull the stretch over baby. And there we go. There's baby. Airways visible. If they've got floppy head, we can keep this over. If you wanted to keep them a bit more visible, you can keep it away. Up to you. And baby's in. Again, if the passes need spreading, you can just reach back there and spread them out. And that will help spread the weight. I've kept this tied here by my side because that's always a good option. This is great if you're planning on sitting on the sofa or if you're driving in the car and you wanted to keep that out. Just make sure that if your tails are very long, that you keep it up away so it's not a trip hazard. If they're super duper long, why not use that bit as the neck support if you want to. Like this. You just want to keep that just to their neck. You don't want it too high because you don't want to block their airways. You still want them to be able to pull their head back if they need to. I hope that helps. Now, how do we get baby out? We're going to do everything in reverse. We take down this middle pass. We put our hand in, hold on to baby's bum, and pull that off. Oopsie. We're going to put this hand in, and we're going to pull this away from baby's leg. And then we've got our baby. If they're still asleep, you can continue holding them if you want to, or you can put them down into their crib. I would always suggest going down with baby nice and slowly. Now, this baby is going to show you a bit better of how we want to get that position, which is nice and curled up like this. We want them in this nice position here. Their hands will be up by their face. And this is how we want them, so that their bum is below their knees. If they were front ways on, it'd be like this on your body. That will hopefully help them because of that, the biomechanics, the baby's body, our bodies, that will help them from keeping their neck from going all the way back and flopping all about. This will respect their body and their position and keep them from having that floppy head. So if they're a bit more flat, if they're a bit more straight up like this, they will have that extra movement because they're not in that nice curled J position that you want them to have. It's really hard to get a J. That's the kind of position you want to have, a nice J position that they go down and up like that. Okay. This might be a bit tight for this baby. I'm going to try and pull as much slack through. So again, we're going on the closest one, popping baby in, pulling this into the back of their knee, pulling this side across and into the back of their knee. We're going to do the same on this side. I'm just going to pull this down. All I'm doing there is I'm just trying to spread that pass on my back. Pull that into the back of his knee. I might have pulled a bit too much slack. I'll find out in a second. I'm going to pull this across to here, pull that up, and as we can see, baby's face is covered up. What we can do here is we can flip the shoulder like that. And what we want to make sure is when we do that, that we're not uncovering them in any way over this side. Okay? So, baby's face is nice and visible, their head supported if they've got floppy head. And from here, see those thumbs, go to your armpits and come down, and you can find that middle marker. We're going to do over one leg and then over the other. And then we're going to pull that up. We're going to make sure baby has that nice pelvic tuck, which is the bum below the knees. Bum, knees. We're going to make sure that our shoulder flip, make sure we have that there. And everything's all tied in. See what I was saying about stretchiness? If you want that stretchiness there, you can pull that through, and because the fabric's stretchy, you can get that there. So being tight is always a good thing. If you do it too tight and you need more, just undo the first knot, just a little bit, and then pull that first knot through to it. And see how I've created that slack there? Then you can do everything that I did in reverse. So instead of pulling, if you're taking the slack out, you pull it up towards your shoulders. Now that I've created the slack here, you can pull that down and readjust to give baby some more room. So pull it down and readjust it here to give baby some more room. I'm going to do a different flip just because this one keeps popping. So I'm going to pull it the other way around, like that. And that should hold it in place a bit better. Do you see? And then bring that middle pass back up. Baby's head can still be supported. Baby's face is clear. Their arms are up by their face. And again, if you've got the floppy head, you can use a muslin and roll that up in there to keep their head from bobbing all about. Okay? Again, to take them down, everything in reverse. Outside panel down, over one leg, over the other, hold on to baby's bum, over that one leg, hold on to baby, and over the second leg. And that's it.